everybody, this is Jeremy Wellborn, and I just took delivery yesterday of this 2020 Hard Top Convertible in Gaithersburg, Maryland from Mike Furman at Criswell Chevrolet. I'm on my way home and thought I would just stop at the National Corvette Museum and the Bowling Green Assembly Plant in Bowling Green, Kentucky, taking this car home after it just left about a week and a half ago, taking it back to the place where it was born, on my way to the place I was born and that I now live in southwest Oklahoma. So that's the journey right now. I'm about 650 miles into the trip. I've had some time behind the wheel of the Hard Top Convertible, and I want to let you guys know what I think of the Hard Top Convertible, some of the differences between it and the Coupe that I own, and some of the things that I think are just pretty cool about the Hard Top Convertible as well. First, let me tell you a little bit about the car. It is a base Non-Z51 spec car with 3LT interior. It's got the front lift on it, and it's, of course, a hardtop convertible. One of the things I was very interested in knowing right off the bat was how the ride sounds inside the cabin, what kind of road noise you get, and I'm just going to hush for just a minute and let you guys listen to this interior noise. So it's not bad at all. There's really minimal difference between the Coupe and the convertible. Of course, the rear glass is not as thick as it is on the Coupe. That's 9 millimeters thick. So I do hear a little bit more from the back. I do hear a little more engine, and I hear a little more exhaust too, which I like personally. But it's nothing that's substantially louder than it is in the Coupe. Another thing that I hear is a little bit of wind noise that I don't hear in my Coupe, just probably because of the design. It's minimal, it's nothing major, but again, compared to the Coupe, a little more wind noise. Another thing that I've noticed too, with regard to things that are different, is when I set this mirror to look through my rear view mirror versus the camera mirror, that hump comes right up, and if I push myself up like that, or if I was taller, or if I raised my seat because I've got it in the lowest position, then I would clearly see over the hump. But the hump is right there, and it's several car lengths back before I can see a low-profile vehicle that might be behind me. It's not a big deal at all. It's just a different feature of the hardtop convertible compared to the Coupe. Now, what about the noise inside the cabin when you put the window down, the back window, the side windows, and what about wind buffeting? First of all, we'll put the rear window down. Hardly any noise from having the rear window down. It's fantastic. I'm driving about 60 miles an hour right now. No wind noise there. We'll put both windows down. Absolutely no buffeting of the wind. There's no buffeting at all. Either way, I can put that rear window up. No buffeting. Put both windows, one window up, leave one down, and I'm just getting absolutely no buffeting. A very small hint of some buffeting coming in from when the right window's down by itself. But if I put that back glass down, it's completely gone. So it's great having the back glass. I love having that back glass because it opens up a whole new window of opportunity with regard to, just having the windows down. It's really great. The next thing I want to mention before I put the top down is that the headroom, because the B-pillar's not right up here, you've got this space here. The headroom in here is substantial in its feel compared to the Coupe, and I really like that a lot. It's not that the Coupe is restrictive for me anyway, because I'm not a tall guy. I know at Spring Mountain, the tall guys with the helmets on, it's pushing up against that top. This is going to be extremely helpful when you're tracking the car in a hardtop convertible to give you, if you're a taller guy, to give you that helmet space that you need. I think that's going to be a great feature of owning the hardtop convertible. So in just a minute, we'll exit so we can put the top down and feel what is like inside with the top down at highway speeds. We're going about 72 right now, so just listen to what this sounds like at this speed inside the cabin. a little bit of tire noise. These are the all-season tires, but again, it's nothing that's really bothersome or out of the ordinary. All right, we're going to exit here so we can slow down enough to put this top down. And on the go, here we go, top down. Both windows up now. This is very comfortable, you know, top-down sound from the wind. It's not bothersome. I'm just trying this out for the first time with the top down, the window down, at highway speed, 75 miles an hour. If I put the back window up, it actually increases the wind noise. Pull the window down to that position, you know, all the way down to the position that it will stop at. That is the prime spot for if you want to have both windows up so you can have a conversation with your passenger. I'm going to put the passenger window down. Substantially increases the wind noise against me, the wind buffeting against me here. Put it back up. We'll put the driver's side down. And that provides more wind noise in here as well, which is to be expected as you put the windows down. But this is optimum with the side windows up, driving down the highway 75 miles an hour. The rear glass partially down to its lowest position. Of course, I say partially because it stops a few inches before it gets all the way down. And man, this is optimal conversation. Listen to music and just enjoying the ride without any wind buffeting or wind noise that's hitting the sides of your head. Nothing that's bothersome at all. They've really done a great job with the 2020 Corvette Hard Top Convertible. When you have the top down, you don't have access to the camera mirror, of course, but you have the rear view mirror, and you can see pretty well. When you're seated in the lowest position in the seat, the tonneau cover over the top does obstruct the vision a little bit, as it is that hump that comes up and over and down. It's not anything that's dangerous in any way. It's just part of the experience. I also noticed when I look over into my blind spot areas, of course I have my mirrors set to the right place, so I can see my blind spots through the side mirrors. But when you got these nacelles right back here, you think they're obstructive, but when I turn and look, the only thing I don't think I can see is a car of a lower profile than I am. I can see everything in my blind spot really well because that nacelle sweeps downward, and it really doesn't block any vision looking over my shoulder on the passenger side. On the driver's side, of course, I can't turn and see anything. So I've really got to rely on my driver's side mirror and that blind spot monitor warning that is on the side mirror. Of course, if you set those mirrors correctly, you'll see everything you need to see in the mirror, and then if you turn and look to your side, you will see through the glasses that vehicle, and your blind spot comes forward. You'll see it in the mirror, you'll see it on the side, you'll see your blind spot warning, and you'll be fine. So my opinion of the hardtop convertible, it is the cat's meow when it comes to the topless driving while you're on a trip, using up all your cargo space for cargo and luggage and whatnot, and then having the ability to put your top down. The only deterrent to me is is that you can't see that beautiful engine bay through the glass and when you open the rear hatch on the Coupe. But I'm telling you, this is the sweet spot when it comes to traveling, and everybody wants to see this car. There are people taking pictures as we drive by. It is the car to be seen right now. So the car is the star. It makes you feel like a star even when you're not. It's a lot of fun to drive. It's getting all the looks. And if you've got one on order, I can't wait till you get yours because you're gonna have a blast with it. I've been on the road now for 3 days, coming back from Maryland. I'm in Oklahoma now, and I'm only about 130 miles from home. The hardtop convertible is a phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal Corvette. And if I have to compare it to the Coupe and tell you which one I'd rather drive, if I'm going to be driving around kind of showing the car off, I love the Coupe because the engine bay visibility is just awesome. So seeing the engine through the glass, really cool. If I'm taking a trip and I need the cargo space and I want to pop the top and drive with the top down, the convertible is the clear winner. As far as comfort goes, I love these GT2 seats. The GT1s are going to be super, super comfortable as well. For long trips, I don't recommend the competition seat unless you sit in it and you say, hey, this seat's perfect for me for long trips. But the GT2's been extremely comfortable. I will be at about almost 1,700 miles by the time I get home. 3 days of driving in these seats. And police reported ahead. They're not bothering me at all, and they're perfect for me. So there's one aspect of the hardtop convertible that for me puts it over the top when you compare it to the 2020 Corvette Stingray Coupe. And I'm going to demonstrate that right now, and hopefully you guys can experience that and enjoy that with me. I hope the audio demonstrates what I'm enjoying about having the top down in this car. So let's go ahead and put the top down. Top is down, and to help with the noise on the microphone from wind, we're gonna put the windows up. All right, I've put it in Z mode. I've got it in manual mode, and let's take off and see if you can tell what I'm enjoying most about having this top down, the back exposed. And let's just listen to the music. Gotta love that. And because the cars are so quiet, oh gosh, that sounds so good. Because the cars are so quiet when the top's up and the oh yeah. But because the car's so quiet when the top's up and the Coupe's so quiet inside, even with the top off and the windows down, you just can't hear that in the Coupe. One more thing, because you've got the back window in the convertible, you can put it down and enjoy the sound without the top down. Enjoy the drive. All in all, Coupe, convertible, you can't go wrong. I mean, they're both amazing. But I'm just glad I have the access to both of these to drive, because it would be hard to make a final decision over the two options. That said, I'm going to have to give the nod to the hardtop convertible. So Corvette team, Chevrolet, you guys knocked both of these cars out of the park, and I can't wait to see what comes out next. I've had some people ask about the latching mechanism on the convertible top, so let's take a look at it. There's where it latches, and here's the latch right here. While this review has primarily been about the 2020 Corvette Hard Top Convertible compared to the 2020 Corvette Coupe, I also want to take a minute to talk about the differences between the Z51 package car, which we have on the Coupe, compared to the Non-Z51 package car with this convertible. The Z51 package costs $5,000 and it is a value-packed package. First of all, it's important to note that if you're going to track your 2020 Corvette or your C8 Corvette, you need to have the Z51 package for track use. The very first thing that it lists on the Build Your Own site for the 2020 Corvette Z51 package is required for track use. You do not need to drive a non-Z51 package car on the track for a variety of reasons. You might take parade laps in it and that's fine, but if you're going to go out and really track the car, you need the Z51 package. The Z51 package provides performance Brembo brakes, which provides us with larger brake rotors. They go from 12.6 inches on the non-Z51 to 13.6 inches on the Z51. Rear rotors are going from 13.3 inches to 13.8 on the Z51. The Z51 performance suspension is also included in the Z51 package, which gives you a stiffer suspension, so I definitely recommend the magnetic selective ride control added to that as well. So keep that in mind. The MSRC gives you definite assistance in the Z51 package car, but you don't need it if you're going to be not tracking the car, and your smoothest ride is going to be in the non-Z51 touring mode. The performance exhaust is also included in the Z51 package, but you can add that to the non-Z51 car, which we have done on this hardtop convertible. The performance rear axle ratio is also included in the Z51 package, giving you faster acceleration, but in a practical experience driving the car, I was really unable to tell the difference in the two. The electronic limited slip differential is also included in the Z51 package and primarily aids in turning under acceleration. It's great when it's needed, but typically that's just in track use. Another element of the Z51 is the front splitter and the rear spoiler. The rear spoiler is providing you with 400 pounds of downforce, but it also creates drag. As a result of having the spoiler, you're going to have a slight reduction in fuel economy and a reduction in top speed. Chevrolet says the base car has a top speed of 194 miles an hour in the non-Z51 car and 184 miles an hour in the Z51 car. The Z51 package has the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires, which are high performance, run flats, summer only, but the non-Z51 has the Michelin all season run flats, which are nearly 1G capable, so you've got tons of performance out of the non-Z51 car tires. Lastly, you've got heavy duty cooling system in the Z51 car. It's got a third radiator. Brake cooling ducts are included with the Z51 package, and some of those components are only added when you're tracking the car. Again, the Z51 package car is required for track use and it is essential for track use, but it is not essential, in my opinion, for normal street use. I've got 1,800 miles on the convertible. I've got 4,000 miles on my Coupe with the Z51. The convertible, we've got performance exhaust on it with no Z51 package. For our use with the convertible, the Z51 package is not necessary. We're not going to be tracking it. We don't need the performance brakes. The brakes are great on the non-Z51 car. We don't need the performance suspension. We want the smooth ride when we're just cruising. We've added the performance exhaust, which gives you a nice rumble and gives you the 5 additional horsepower. The performance rear axle ratio, I can't tell the difference between them, but I know that there is, but I just can't tell the difference. The ELSD for us is not necessary. The splitter, the spoiler, or the downforce and the aero, it's not going to make a difference in what we're doing. And we can also take the car to 194 miles an hour if we can find a practical setting for that. And those Michelin all-season run flats, 1G capable, they're perfectly fine for our purposes, not on the track and just in daily driving and enjoying the car. And then the cooling system has been just absolutely superb on the car. I've had no issues at all. We've had some really hot days over the last couple of days traveling back to Oklahoma, and in all the driving situations never saw any kind of issues with cooling. The Z51 package
has a lot of value in it for $5,000. But if you're not tracking the car, you don't need the Z51 package from a performance standpoint. You've got all the performance that you could possibly want in the non-Z51 car, unless you're going to go out on the track. And then you add the Z51, and then that just takes you over the top for the track, because you're just never going to push the car on the street like you would push it on the track in most cases. Now, I know some of you out there might do that. And if that's the case, then put the Z51 package on your car. I hope this has been a helpful review of the Z51 package so that you can decide whether you want to add the Z51 package to your car or not.